girls. Welcome to another live stream at Twin Pine Studios. Again, my name is Dylan. I am the primary film composer and audio engineer here. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to do some cool stuff. We're going to take the beep boops I made for this video game that I'm working on, and we're going to make those beep boops sound even cooler, even nicer, cleaner sounding in general. Or I'm just polishing a turd. I have no idea. Let's find out. The first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to show a couple of pictures that I got from the game developer that I'm working with, just to kind of showcase the sort of visual elements of the game. And yes, I could have probably worded that more pretentiously, but hey, we're here. So let me throw up the Discord here. Let's see if it'll let me pull it up. Is it going to let me do it? Oh, I got to click a different thing. Give me 1 second here. So, oops, we got to do this one. There we go. Now you can see this cute little guy. Look at this cute little guy. Isn't he a cutie? And then we got this guy. I'll zoom in a little bit. So these are kind of our like main characters who's going to be going throughout the map. And then I got a quick idea on what the levels are going to look like. So we'll be kind of running through here. It's kind of a 3D Metroidvania sort of concept here. You're a primary character. You got to get through the puzzles, the obstacles, and the enemies, and so on and so forth. And we are making lovely music for this game. Aren't you excited? If you aren't, get excited, okay? Let me get out of this window, get the right things back up, and we're going to deep dive into this guy. Alrighty here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to scan through the piece right now, just kind of listen to what we got, and then from there, we're going to dive in, and we're going to try to sculpt out the sound a little bit. Again, if you are unfamiliar with the mixing process, mixing for music is basically just trying to make the music sound better. You're trying to make all the different elements within the song or the track blend together properly, make sure nothing's fighting each other, you could hear everything, and that overall the track has a general polish and it sounds better, is the goal at least. We'll see if we get that today. So again, this is the main theme for this game called Pilgrimage. Why don't we take a quick look? I'm not going to talk too much during the track. I might point out certain concepts as we're going. The track is only like 90 seconds or so. It's a pretty straightforward track. And also, if we knock out this mix today, we might do the other song for the video game today. We'll just kind of see how the night goes. All right, without further ado, we have our late night Monster Energy. Oh, that kind of went everywhere. Jeez. All right, here we go. We're diving in. Oh yeah, that sounds nice. What's up, Corey? Thanks for joining us. I would share my energy drink with you if I could. This is when the music starts to get a little vibey right here. And this is where the vibes really kick in. And a nice, cute piano to kind of help the loop. And the goal is to help it loop. I think I got it set up properly here. And it'd come back to the beginning, just like that. Isn't that a cute, fun little adventure we went on? All right, so let's start diving in. Just to talk a little bit about my mixing process in general here. If you're just now joining us, we are doing a live mixing session for a game jam that I've been working on. I've showed a couple of pictures. Maybe I'll throw them up in a moment here. We just did a brief run through of the song, and now we're going to dive into individual aspects of the song to kind of help with the mixing process. Again, mixing is just trying to make everything sound pretty nice and beautiful. So, one thing I was talking about with my mixing process here is I have a list on the top right over here, as you can see that I have highlighted. And it's just a list of things that I'd like to get done when working on the mix. So one thing I really like is to get into a flow state when mixing and to also get into a checklist state. So to get the ball rolling, I need to look at my checklist to see what's going on. But things will kind of manifest and sort of present itself in the mix that I need to adjust. And I don't want to just stick to the checklist in order to do those things. So I get in the zone, I work on all those things, and then when nothing has kind of presented itself as a problem that needs to get addressed, I go back to the checklist. And this process kind of helps me keep me moving, keep me flowing, not keep it being a stale process where all I'm doing is just mixing and all I'm doing is just jumping around the mix doing random stuff, whatever. I will mix it to the limit. Thank you for joining us, Jake Calf. Is your older brother here, Jake Cow? I mean, if you're a calf, it implies that you are the younger one. So maybe your older brother can join us. I hope he can. Alrighty here. So some of the notes I have is I'm trying to make the percussion feel full enough, but not overpowering. That's a big thing with orchestral music is unless you really, really want driving percussion, you want to have percussion in general that blends in the mix and pushes the track forward, not overpowers the orchestra. I'm trying to make the piano dreamier and fuller with reverb, adjust the muddiness and the brass a little bit here, and give the deep bass drum a majority of the low end. For this track, I'm not trying to have some groovy bass line. I'm just trying to have a good, thick bass drum do a lot of the work for us. And then, yeah, some of the other things I have are about the upright bass, some ideas I have in mind for the reverb that I'm trying to do, and just kind of going from there. So I'm just going to kind of look at the primary section where most of the moving and grooving happens. And that's going to be right up here. I'm just going to do a brief listen, and then we're just going to kind of run through. One thing I like to do to get the ball rolling also is just to work my way down all of these different track stack folders. So I got like woodwind, strings, brass, orchestral, plucks and mallets and such, orchestral percussion, and auxiliary percussion, which auxiliary percussion just be the things that aren't normally in the orchestra, but are still percussionally minded. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. Let's look. So let's just listen, see what happens. I'm liking the string balance overall. Let's just analyze the strings. Strings in this section are heavily on the right side, but that's okay just because we mainly got the low strings anyways. Let me see where I have the viola. Yeah, I think for this piece that's totally fine. Let's skip that part right there, and let's mute the pizzicato strings for now. So right now we got just the viola, cellos, and the bass. And let's look at just these two. Some fun stuff right here. Let's see, chat. Oh, wow, a dinosaur in the chat. I like it. All right, let's take a look at this viola. So cut off the low end. And then I like to jump out, or see what frequencies jump out at me. Nothing really bothering me. There's a little quackiness. Let's see it without it. And for the record, if you don't have headphones, this is kind of a more fun experience if you do, or if you have good speakers to kind of listen to this. Not saying you can't enjoy it on a cell phone or anything like that, but there's some finer detail that we're looking for when mixing. So if I make it obtuse, you can hear it's very, very quacky this way. And right now, it brings a lot more clarity to the mix. And I don't want that saw sound or that paper cutting sound. Where am I getting that the most? Yeah. Might give it a little bit of high-end boost. I like that. That'll work. Let's look at the cello. Now, these guys have a little bit of mud that we want to take care of. They're not. I know they're not going to go lower than 80, so I'm probably just going to keep it right there. Let's see what else is bothering us. A lot of stuff in here. Not really. That's probably the frequency that's bothering me the most. Let's hear those together. We're going to do the... Actually, let's do that. We're going to do that last. All right, let's move along to a different section of the song that'll kind of help us get a better feel. Let's go to right here. Solid. Ooh, they got a little mean right there. Forgot about that. All right, let's look at the violin 2 marcato patch that we got here. Let's look at this. This seems like a consistent phrase. Let's look at this guy. Oh, that's supposed to be up the octave. There we go. Bring down the 300 area a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I don't have any problems with that. Let's go to... Yeah, sorry, you hear a lot of repetitive phrases when you're mixing. That's what I was not liking. Ah, where is it? Where is it? I think it's right there. All right, before, after. Subtle, but it helps. All right, let's check it. Let's see what else we got here. Then the violin 1 is going to be something similar. So I'm just going to kind of copy and paste this guy, see if it works. Yeah. Yeah, in that range, there's always some funky stuff. Yep, that sounds pretty good to me. So generally speaking, what I'm going to want to do here now, does that pop up when I put that there? Let's see. It does pop up. How nice. All right. So we're going to take this guy. We're going to put him on all the violin BBCSO patches. Because one thing about orchestral music, at least the way that I program, all of the long notes have their own thing, the legato passages, and then the medium length notes and the short notes all have their own thing for each instrument. It's just the best way to get realism out of the track. That also means that you have like 3 to 4 tracks just for one instrument, technically speaking, and it can get a wee bit annoying at times. So let's just do some copying and pasting. Copying and pasting. Did I mention copying and pasting? And of course, these movements are kind of subject to change. I'll probably back off on this guy a little bit here because I know this is con nano. And then what we'll do is now we're doing the cello. See, sometimes you just got some dirty work to do, and you just got to take care of it. Couple more here, and then we're going to look at the bass. There's 2 different basses. This one's a little bit different. All right. All right, bass is a lot of fun to mix. You wish you could play piano? It's not too late, Corey. It's never too late. I'm actually a music teacher, if anyone ever needs help with anything. But I have taught students as young as 5 years old and as old as 88 years old. So, you know, I mean, if that 88-year-old can get on the horse, I think you can too. All right, let's take a look at the bass. Let's find a good lengthy passage for our bass boy. Here's our bass boy. Oh, yeah. Kind of dirty sounding. Not sure how much I like that. Let's see. I have all the modulation here that'll kind of affect the tone. Doesn't affect it too much. Let's see the expression. Bring up the volume a little bit more. Very raw sounding bass. Sources say used to play bass for a metal band. Care to elaborate? Yeah, I went from the far end of music to the other far end. I used to play bass in a death metal band when I was 14. That when I first picked up an instrument. It was bass guitar for a metal band. And now I write, well, I mean, just to give you some context, even harder metal stuff. Clearly, as you can tell. But, you know, that metal band, they couldn't go as hard as this stuff, dude. I mean, I mean, if you don't have cute oboe, can you really do metal? Let's be real, bro. Come on. I rest my case. Any oozles, thank you for the info there. Or sharing the info, I should say. All right, let's take a look at this bass. All right, so the thing with mixing bass is we want to have a good balance of low end in general. We don't want to overpower it either. So let's take a look at some of the decisions I made already. That I remember why I did that, because it sounds awful. Looks like 68 is our best friend. Yeah, let's throw a compressor on this bad boy. Actually, before we do that. Yeah, you hear that? That's a funny sound. With? Yeah, we don't like that. Keep it right there. Maybe bring it down to... Yeah, we need at least 9,000, roughly. Let's try... Ooh, what am I feeling? I'm thinking we throw on... I kind of want to try the Renaissance Axe. Let's try that bad boy. And we need stereo for this one because it's an orchestral bass, and they're a little bit to the right. Let's see what presets they got for us. Oh, bass compressor. Here, let's actually, there's a bass version of this. Wrong one. Where is it? Here we go. Hey, right away, you hear the difference. Alright, let's find a good preset for this bad boy. Live bass. I don't like how this is playing with it. We're just gonna do a regular Logic compressor. A guy that I like a lot is the Studio Fat. Oh, thank you for the clip. I appreciate it. Gotta let people know how rockin' and how metal an oboe can be. For those of you who have recently joined us, we are mixing a video game track right now, and we're having a lot of fun doing so. All right, we're trying to make this bass in the orchestra sound fat, but not too fat. We're talking fat like a man who just recently started going to the gym about 2 months ago. He's lost 10 pounds, but he's still got meat on his belly. It's a very specific, nuanced bass tone, as you could tell. All right, here. What do I want? Don't want a lot of compression. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, I want to see if there's any presets that I would like. No. I feel like there's still too much low end. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, okay. Seems a little too powerful. We're just gonna do parallel compression, just to kind of even it out a little bit. I'm gonna up the volume on my end just to hear it a little bit better. Yeah, because this would be on the right side. Now you should hear it through your right speaker a little bit. That's one thing I have not done a lot of yet. Let's check I make sure I got the panning and everything properly. This is a mixing board. I only have it 16? Okay. That does sound better over there. I'm pretty happy with that for now. Let's check that with the other string parts. Well, that's everything. My bad. I think that sounded pretty good. Again, going with just the flow of things. You might be thinking, Dylan, why are you going from the strings all the way down to the percussion folder? That makes no sense. Why are you going to the bass drum, you madman? What are you doing? The idea is, on one way, I want to go down the list on the project file. I also want to go, once I get to the bottom, and kind of work my way up sonically as well. So the bass drum and the lowest bass instrument is going to have the most fight, and I need those to lock in the most. So if I can get those to work in, everything else could kind of fall into place, properly speaking. One thing I want to double check, because this is a bass drum in contact, I need to make sure that everything in the program is working nicely. I'm going to take that off. More cowbell. I actually have cowbell on this track. Is it on this one? It's on one of the tracks for this guy. It's the third track, I'm pretty sure. We got cowbell. Don't you worry. If we do more mixing tonight, we will do the next track, which has cowbell, and I will make sure that the mix is predominantly cowbell just for you, Calf the Jake. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to back off on the room mic a little bit, keep the close in the hall, just to give it a little bit more oomph. It's not bad. Woo! The crush is cows in my area ain't got not balls. Whoa. Oh, maybe that's supposed to be bells. I thought you were asking, like, are the cows the girls or the boys? Which I am probably not the man to ask for that, but I'm sure regardless they're delicious. Anyways, the crush here is like the distortion knob, which is a pretty cool sound. So let's see how we like it. I'm going to turn it off. I like a little bit of it. It gets the job done. All right, let's find... Oh, look at that beefy. Oh, I want that. Yeah, okay, we have to harness the bass drum energy. All right, first thing we need to do... Man, I want to try that compressor, but it didn't work last time. Let's see if it wants to play nicely this time. Let's see. Master bus comp. That's percussion. String sandwich. Oh, that's interesting. There's some interesting presets on here. Let's just see what the percussion one sounds like. I hate it. We're going back to Logic. I just love the Studio Fat in Logic for bass things. Actually, I bet they have one for just nasty kick drum. Yeah, rock kick. That's kind of what I want. Yeah, but I don't like the distortion on here. I want to use my own distortion. Back off the threshold a little bit. We gotta back off the reverb too. Let's see how that sounds with our upright bass, because they gotta play nice. They're friends. They have to play together nice. It sounds too squished. I don't like it. And I need there to be more low end out of this bass. I need more. Oh, how do I channel more of its essence? I might honestly just... That's what I want. But this seems like such an inappropriate way to get that to happen. For now, this is probably the most irresponsible mixing decision I've ever made. I'm going to try it, and worst case scenario, I just turn it off later. But I want to see it happen. Yeah, I'm going to try it. I can't think of another way to bring out more of the low end right now. Let's use a multipressor on it, but usually I use a multipressor to slam them together. I think that sounds pretty cool. If it's too much, sue me. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, I want more out of this bass drum. So I think it's okay. And then I'm going to bring up the compression. And I'm going to bring it a little bit more forward in the mix. All right, I like the low end. Let's check everything else. Everything sounded pretty good. Oh, that's the pizzicato strings. Oops. Let's just check the strings with it. I didn't expect it to loop right there. Violin scared the poop out of me. Luckily, I'm not constipated anymore. Hallelujah. All right. All right, you know what? I think we're sounding pretty good right here. Let's check another section just to verify, but I'm liking how it's coming along. Yeah, because this is almost... I don't want to say this is hip-hop by any means, but I'm trying to get a little bit of that swagger in here. Just a little bit. All right, here we go. Beautiful. Okay. I like it. All right. Oh, I forgot about our timpani boy. We don't want this to tick up that low end too much. What I want is a little bit of that like basketball frequency. You know, like when you dribble a basketball, that sort of boing boing sound. I want a little bit of that. And that's like right around here. Just a little bit. And we'll bring it down right here just to compensate so it's not too much. It's subtle, but all these little moves really help. All right, making a note for myself so I know what to do later. Because I have 3 tracks and they're all very different types of pieces in terms of orchestration, arrangement, and how the mix is going to be executed. So, for example, when I do the second track, which is really just a strict orchestral piece, think like Alan Silvestri or not that I'm as good as those guys by any means, just similar level of music, but like your John Williams, Alan Silvestri. It's a little more like that, where this is like some weird, like, Thomas Newman becomes a hip-hop producer sort of thing. All right. I don't know, chat. What do you think? Should I stay in percussion land? Should I venture off back into the orchestra? What do you think? As I'm pondering and taking this next sip, guide me where I should go on this mixing adventure. Should we have percussion? Or more orchestral and melodic instruments next? I'm cool either way. Drum roll. Corey says, uh. I believe in you, Corey. You can make this selection. You can do it. Percussion was drums. Yeah, percussion is drums. So I'm going to take that as a yes, Dylan. All I want to hear is cowbell, more cowbell, and other forms of cowbell. I got you. I got this ride cymbal right here. Let's take a look at this bad boy. He's a cutie. Take out some of the low end. We don't need it. Perfect. Just little sizzle. Isn't that nice? Wrong. I mean, this sounds really good in the mix. I don't want to mess it up too much. Just want to give it just a teeny bit of sizzle. But I'm going to do that a different way. We're going to use our Manny Marroquin EQ. He's going to give us that sizzle on the 15K and up. Oh, I know what I want to give it. Just like a little bit of its like own reverb that is just splashing up there. I think that would sound really nice. It is not a green monster. It is actually, though I'm not endorsed by them, so please don't sue me. It's Ultra Fiesta Mango. It's this blue bad boy, 10 calories. It's fun. It's a delicious little treat for sure. Here, let me check something here. I wish there's a way I could like manipulate the reverb sends. I don't think there is. They have reverb in the back panel. Maybe there is a way to manipulate this bad boy. Oh. Nah. Oh. I hate it. I hate it. All right, we're going to give it... I don't think I really... Have I been using this one at all? I don't think I have. Is anything routed to this? To be safe, I'm going to make its own special little reverb. Alrighty, we got reverb. We're going to dive into this bad boy. Looking for something bright and splashy. Dream Hall does a decent job of that, I think. Let's try Reflective Hall. Ooh, that's a little bit different sounding. All right, it's patch. No, it kind of gives it a different effect. We need a sizzle. Let's try Fine Hall. A very bright. Maybe we need a spring verb. That's probably what it is. Let's see here. Spring reverb. We're going to try amplifier spring. See how that goes. I hate that so much. Maybe, I think it's a plate verb. We need a plate verb. Bright plate. That's better. We need it to just be like 500 times the size. Quite literally, you can expand the size of a reverb. But we're manipulating. Alrighty, chat. Looks like someone just asked, am I familiar with all the preset sounds? You've used the program that much, or do you have a set few that is your go-to? The answer is yes to both. So there are so many, like, space designers like the Workhorse Space Reverb in Logic Pro, but there are like thousands of reverbs in there. So I'm really familiar with a handful of them, like maybe 20 or 30. And I have some that are go-to, some that are the ones that I like for certain settings. Like this, I'm using the swimming pool reverb on here, which sounds really cool. There's other things like the church reverb that sound awesome. There's other things like the Dream Hall is one I'm really familiar with if I want just like a nice, good 800 to 4K, just sort of polish and a little bit of shine in there. Um, and then I also have other things that I'll use. Now, in terms of like the preset plugins and everything, I'm pretty much familiar with all of them in Logic. Now, if we're talking about instruments, there's so many different things in Logic. I haven't played them all, but I have a sense of the general things that people might look for, like the clav, the vibraphone, general synths in alchemy and things like that. So like I can, if I have a sound in mind, I could find it in a couple of minutes, no problem. But I'm always discovering new things that are in Logic still. So I've gotten to a good balance where I could find what I need and I can still find refreshing new stuff. Hopefully that kind of answers your question. All right, let's see this bright plate. This is just not doing it for me. Maybe this is the wrong way to get about that like bright sort of sound I was looking for. Oh, that might be why. Oh, that's interesting. Let's try. Come on now. Don't mess with me, Logic. All right, let's try that. Bright plate. Let's bring this guy in a little bit more. I'm pretty happy with that. That's good to know. Let's check these guys out. That's going to help bring that guy out. Let's try that. I like that. All right, we got the auxiliary percussion. We got things like shakers and company. What do I have on there? I have... Yep, it's just shakers. And then I have a kabasa. I have this weird, like, tribal mid-high loop that I found. It sounds pretty cool. Some Chinese blocks, which are pretty cool. I put a bunch of reverb on them, and they sound pretty dope. And then I have two different types of bongos, because, I mean, like, you need bongos. So this is served as, like, my primary bongo, almost serving as, like, a mid-high snare. Yeah, let's give it a little bit of oomph right here. Sorry, I thought I heard my cat trying to get in. Yeah, I'll play through the song in just a second here. Let me I could probably do that in just a few minutes. I just want to get the percussion sound just a little bit nicer. That's what I'm looking for. A little bit of a boost there. But I kind of want to boost. Let's see, that's 2.2K. Let's see if we could boost that in a different way. What would be a fun way to boost that? I kind of want to use an exciter. I'm feeling excited to use the exciter. Here we go. 2.2K. Oh, look at that. All right, without, with. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Let's split the difference, see what that sounds like. What an exciter does, for those who may not know, is an exciter kind of sounds like its name, which I love about music. There's so many terms that the name is kind of the definition. An exciter excites or accentuates certain frequencies within the frequency spectrum. So if you want to excite 2.2K, it's going to amplify that the most on the instrument. So this is without, this is with. You can see it almost sucks it up into that realm. It sounds really nice. I like it. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's bring it back a little bit. And then I want to bring this up a little. I like that. We're going to this reverb needs to be dialed back a bit. Don't need anything down there. Yeah, I was a little bit lazy. Well, not lazy. A different approach I'll take is I'll take the reverb and then I'll put it on the individual instrument and then I'll turn down the dry so it sounds like it's in the reverb a little bit. It's kind of a little trick. Some people have mixed feelings about that trick, but I like it. It at least helps me visualize the idea and what I'm going for. These are just my regular bongas. Oh, I didn't put Space Designer on this bad boy. Did I use him in any of the other tracks? Nope. So we're going to put it on this guy too. Nah, we're just going to give him a little bit. He really doesn't need that much. Okay. Yeah, most of my percussion comes from two areas, from Opus. This is like East-West Composer Cloud, and then we have Damage 2. Both of these are from Opus. So let's hear the bongos together. Let's hear from getting... Let's pan these a little bit more. All right, all the aux percussion plus the cymbal. With the bass drum and timpani. Okay. All right. Someone wanted to hear a brief listen through. Let's do a brief listen through just to kind of get a feel for where we're at. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go grab a drink really, really fast. Let me just put a note up just in case someone walks in. But we're going to do a brief listen through just to kind of get a feel for the track for those who may have missed it in the beginning. Give me just a second here. Cool beans. All right, let's do a quick listen through here. All right. Oh, you know what? Ha, 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 ha. I can't do that. Oh, well, I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab my other energy drink really fast while we do a quick listen through. I'll be back in 30 seconds here. I'm staying up late. I totally agree, Corey. How much caffeine is in one monster? That's a great question. It should say somewhere. And that's the whole piece, pretty much. It's going to loop from there. I can't tell how much caffeine's in here. It should say. Looks like there's 160 milligrams of caffeine. I think your average cup of coffee has like 50 to 100 milligrams of caffeine. Yeah, that's what I think. So it's kind of like having a couple cups of coffee is one way to kind of look at it. So let me get my stuff back up on here. So it's not too bad. It's like I just had, so you just took a pre-workout to finish your work. That's right. Pretty much. All right, let's see how the percussion is sounding. Let's do it. Luckily, I am still 25, which means my heart will not explode if I have a second one. Here we go. I can't get the tab. There we go. Ha-ha. Boop. Refreshing. Beautiful. Yeah, I think I like these ones a little bit more. These ones are a little bit nicer. Famous last words. Could you imagine if I just die on this live stream? What a way to go. Oh, the other one that I got here is the Monster. I don't know. It's the white can. It just says Monster. It doesn't tell me a fancy flavor. It just says energy, as if that's a flavor. All right, these Chinese blocks are dope sounding. Taking out the low end is kind of a big deal. There we go. Oh, you like that one? That is a good one. Yeah, both of these are the sugar-free. That way I only had 20 calories out of these drinks, which is freaking worth it to keep me alive. Alrighty here. That'll work. Just give it a little bit of a baby bump there. Ba-da. Da. I mean, I don't have any problems with this one. Let's just look at the shaker. I just wanted to get that good little gliss. I always put the stupidest EQs on like stock Logic stuff sometimes, at least based on what I'm looking for. Fun fact about Logic, there's this really cool thing. It's like a think of it like a producer's studio musician, where basically it's a generator for like side percussion or auxiliary percussion. We're talking shakers, cowbell, jam blocks, kabasa, tambourine, hand claps, bongos, all that sort of stuff. It has a very specific sound. So, but I think the shakers in it sound really good and fairly realistic. I mean, listen to the shaker. It's a freaking Logic loop. It's not even a loop of a real person. It's a generated loop through Logic. Sounds pretty damn convincing to me. So, I like it. I think it's cool. It gets the job done for what I'm looking for. I want that 8.5K. We're going to use the exciter again. I haven't used the exciter a lot lately, but I've been excited to use it more. That's sounding pretty good. Let's check the Kabasa. This, we need a little bit of a grittier sound to it. Let's back off the Space Designer a little bit. Yeah. We just don't need all that reverb. All right, let's check this guy. Oops, wrong button. What kind of panning action we working with here? I need to hear it with the ride cymbal. So if I'm thinking of a drummer, the ride cymbal is usually on the right. I think I want that. I kind of like it dead center. Maybe slightly left. Yeah, I see it. I see it now. That way I have the Kabasa. I bring the shaker over. Yeah, nothing crazy. Just enough to give it a little bit of... Just enough to give it a little bit of color. Yeah. That's nice. All right, then I got this like little tribal fill. This thing's kind of weird, honestly. It's meant for, like, driving percussion stuff, but it gets the job done. This is so weird. It's nice. I might have to dial back the percussion a little bit, but I mean, in general, I'm liking where the percussion's at. It's getting the job done. Let's hear it with the strings. Let's go back to a earlier section here. Ah, crap. Okay, here we go. All right. I'm liking how that's sounding. I want to bring back this guy's reverb a little bit, though. And this guy definitely needs a compressor. My God, there's so much damn reverb. Yeah, that's plenty. Oh my God, that's so much. Yeah, that sounds fine. Let's see here. Da 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 da. Na 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 na. They don't give you that option. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move on to the woodwinds for now. Honestly, the BBCSO woodwinds, they sound pretty good and they're outright. I'm just going to look at the bassoons, make sure they're not overpowering, because they're sounding pretty good already. See, beautiful. There's just a little bit right there I'd take out. I mean, everything else sounds nice. I really, really like the BBCSO woodwinds. They just are a lot of fun. Let's check the clarinets really quick. It's such a cute little line. Yeah, just, I mean, a little bit there. Most of what my ears are sensitive to with these instruments is just that stuff. Check the oboes. Oboes are a little more. Ah! I'm so sorry, chat. If you're just joining us now, we are doing a live mixing session of a fun video game. Oh, you know what? I realized I didn't even change the title, but that's okay. We're just doing a live mixing session of a fun video game. I don't think there's any way I can edit the name. Oh, yes, I can. I will do that. But anyways, listen to this cute little oboe. I like that. There we go. If you're just now joining us, we are doing some live mixing of a video game for a fun, cute 3D thing for itch.io. Look at this cute little oboe. Isn't he a cutie? We're just trying to make everything sound nice. Wouldn't that be nice? If all the instruments could play nice together. That's nice. Why, hello there, Tony. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you. Or virtually see your chat. Yeah. Let's check the flutes here. Oh, yeah. I love BBCSO woodwinds. They're just so easy to work with. Just a little bit of that little breathiness I want to get out, but other than that, it sounded nice. Look at that. Isn't that... Hold on. You just got to hear how breathy that is right there. It's so funny. That's so funny to me. I almost want to just sample just the wind, because that would sound great. Yeah, we're still rocking, Tony. We're about an hour in. We're going to be streaming at least another hour, I think. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, almost 9:30. I was thinking of going till like another 40 minutes or so at least. Kind of see how everyone's doing. If people are still vibing and want to see me start mixing the next track. Actually, that one's a lot of fun. It is a not samba. It's like salsa dance music. I got like a vibraphone solo in there. Crazy stuff. Somehow it blends with this palette somewhat. Got cool, beautiful, big French horns and things like that. It's a fun time. We'll see if we got time for that tonight. I would like to. We'll see how it goes. Anything in here? Let's check that. Oops, wrong button. Not what I wanted. Yeah, there's a little bit right there. There's that straw. Yeah, right there I want to back off. And then just a general boost up here would be nice during that section. Perfect. All right, again, I could always fine tune later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply these EQ settings to the different articulations. So like we mentioned before, the way that I kind of do programming is for the different flute articulations. I will have one for legato, one for staccato, or for special effects like trills and things like that. I find it to just be, at least right now in my workflow, the thing that makes sense because key switches just piss me the heck off. Yeah. So here we are on this fun adventure, copying and pasting while copying and pasting. It's really a fun time. You gotta make it a fun time, you know? I think I already copied and pasted that. Look at that. Oh, but the piccolo. How could we forget the piccolo? Honestly, for now, because I use the piccolo so sparse, I'm just going to do something, the same thing I did for the flute, except I'm going to back off just a little bit more low end and a little less high end because those boys are piercing. And if something pops its ear out to me later, I will fix it. Because you know what? We barely use the piccolo on this track. Let's just see how it sounds right here, just to make sure we don't kill anyone. I do love that. It has such a fun, cute vibe. Listen to that. That's a fun time. Yeah. In context, it's got a little bit more piano there than I'd like, but as we go through the mixing process, we'll adjust that. Maybe just give those flutes a little baby bump up in the mix. All right, let's hear the whoa, geez, can't talk there. Let's hear just the woodwinds in general going on. Let's hear them play. Let's see if they're playing nice. Yeah, I think I have a couple of okay. So usually when I'm going through this fast process through game jams, I'm kind of mixing while I'm producing, while I'm arranging and stuff like that. So there's a couple of little things in the performance of the woodwinds I might go back and fix tomorrow morning before I submit this, but just the idea is there. Like that right there. I might actually I could probably just do that right now really quickly. It's just the staccato passages are a little too loud. One thing I'll do is I'll blend the marcato or staccato parts just to kind of help give the legato passages a little bit of oomph on the onset. Sometimes it's too much. Let's hear that. And let's bring up the legato a little bit. Yeah, I learned so much about using automation lines properly on this project. It was, oops, not even funny. That should help. Quick and dirty. Just getting the job done. You got like 71 hours, so take your time. Oh, yeah, when you put it that way, I'm freaking out. Because I have a gig Saturday night, and I don't work on Sunday. So really, I got until tomorrow at 3 p.m. to finish everything. So, no rush. That's good enough. I could fix that later. Oh, righty there, lassie. It's really the oboe that's pissing me off. Wait, what? Well, that's why. I have the oboe in octaves. That makes no sense. Okay. Sorry, we got to get back to mixing. Very good. And then we'll just give him just a little higher velocity. All right, back to mixing. All right, let's hear how they sound all together. That's supposed to pop out in the mix. It's good. And then let's fix that really quick, just because it's the exact same idea. So darn cute. Let's blend them together a little bit. It's really the bassoon that's just got too much meat on its bones. And you really don't notice it till you get over here. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, bassoon. You're too lively. And we'll put that on the staccato one as well. There we go. That's more reasonable. Okay. We'll probably give it just like another dB and open up that Q a little bit more. And go from there. And like always, if you guys have any questions on what I'm doing, why I'm doing, or just about how I'm feeling, what's been going on in the world, feel free to ask as I'm going about this. Hold on, let me check something really quick. Yeah, okay, so I got to get the harps low end to come down because that's clogging up the mix. Actually, let me evaluate, make sure that's the thing. Jeez, so much low end on the harp. You just don't need it. I'm just going to do it now. Yeah, it's the right harp. Actually, let me check something really quick. This might be just an arrangement issue. Yeah, honestly, it might just, if I just take it out of the arrangement. Oops, I wanted to hear that. Let's check that again right here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that might be simpler. And then I think this piano right here. And then just take that down in the mix. That's a little bit better. Because we still got to mix the piano. We just haven't gotten there yet. All right, let's take a look at the brass. Getting down to brass tacks. Let's see the brass over here. Yeah, so halfway through this project, I started to realize that I wanted to use primarily BBCSO as my workhorse for the stuff in general. There's some instances where in the beginning I was using just the contact stuff in general. Oh, thank you, Jake Calf. I'm glad everything is sounding nice and pretty. I was using Forzo by Heaviosity. That's just usually the brass that I use. But the problem is it's just so intense, their brass. It can make softer sounds like this, for example. Not super intense, right? It's got a nice mellow sound. But I started to just really fall more and more in love with BBCSO Orchestra this week, which is a VST pack. Or a VST library for orchestral music. So it was just really, really cool to hear in general. So I've been really getting into that. So you might see some instances where I'm using BBCSO. You might see some instances where I'm using Forzo. Hey, that kind of rhymed. Look at that. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting balance to try to strike those together. Yeah, it doesn't sound too bad right there. And this is Forzo, actually, right here. I think I'm using Forzo for most of this track. Let's see if I'm using BBCSO at all. Oh, wow. Look at that. I'm using Forzo for the first track and BBCSO for the other two. That's pretty funny to me. But it's got its own sound. It sounds nice. I like it. It's definitely a brass library worth getting if you're trying to make some epic stuff or trying to get some good bite. Yeah, it sounds nice. It's one thing I noticed, it has like a rounder sound for BBCSO and definitely more symphonic sounding, where this just sounds like a very modern brass. Don't want that low end in there. I just don't need it. Wait, it might be more of that. Yeah. There we go. And I like to do subtractive EQ on just the regular EQ and additive EQ on waves, Manny Marroquin. And for those who don't know, subtractive versus additive is exactly what it sounds like. Subtracting is taking away frequency. Additive is adding frequencies or accentuating them is another way to think about it. Yeah, just a little bit of brightness up there. It's very, very nice. Very nice. All right, so we'll do that. All right, let's check all the French horn passages. Put that here. Yep, that should be good. Let's look at the trombones that we got. Let's look at this guy. Yeah, not much going on. I'm just going to take off the low end. They don't do a lot in this piece. I just take out a little bit of the quack. A little bit of boost there. Not even that much. Wait. There we go. Before. After. Again, subtle moves to help the overall picture. Do this here as well. And of course, we have our contra trombones. Yeah, it's basically doing the same thing. We're just going to add the same EQ for brevity's sake. And do I use the tuba at all? I use the tuba for 2 little lines. How cute. Poor tuba. If he was in an orchestra, he'd be so bored. Seems like it's all coming out of the 80s. All right, let's look at that. All right, let's look at this guy right here. You can usually cut under 300 because trumpets don't do stuff under 300. I can probably cut this guy. Hold on. I don't like that. Sorry for the popping. I gotta freeze some of the instruments here. Since we finished mixing these guys, we're gonna freeze those. And yeah, I mean, we froze these and we're not using these. So let's go ahead. Do some freezing. If those who don't know, freezing is just kind of bouncing the track in place. So you just have the audio file. You can't affect the track by any means, but you can unfreeze it to be able to affect it again. So It's a great way to save on processing power and resources in general to kind of help your computer do the thing better. So when I'm streaming, it takes just a little bit of my computer's CPU and RAM to do the stream and do the thing. And my computer's like, yo, I can't do two things at once sometimes. You can't have, how many tracks I got on here? 140 tracks and live stream, dude. I need a breather. And I'm like, all right, cool. We'll freeze a couple of the tracks. Relax. It's okay. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, freezing in the air. No, that doesn't quite work. Oh, well. Alrighty here. So if we look at our checklist, we've done some good work on the percussion. We've done some good stuff on the strings. The brass is pretty much there, at least for what I'm going to do for this track. Oh, that is a cute emoji, the little Pikachu. I didn't even know you could do that. That's awesome. Learning more and more about Twitch every day. Yeah, so we did some good stuff on just the orchestra in general, the percussion. I think the gist of the track is there. So I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it so far. Did you purchase that emoji, Corey? Alrighty. Let's check the brass one more time. One more time. Celebrate. Oh my gosh, it's still doing that. It's so strange. Well, I mean, I'm happy with the woodwinds, so we're just going to freeze those guys too. Whoa, so many Pokemojis! That's crazy. Speaking of Pokemon, is anyone familiar with Pal World? That's the game I got on recently. It's blowing my mind. I have never had so much fun playing a video game in the longest time. It's like combining Pokemon with Fortnite, and it's just like the best of both worlds with those games combined into one. Such a fun concept. It's like an open world sort of game too, mixed in. So much fun. Oh my gosh. I'm honestly thinking about live streaming Pal World. Just to see what it's like to live stream a video game. I've never done that before. I'm still new to streaming. I want this channel to be primarily streaming music related content, but you know, it might be kind of cool to do like a Q&A of Pal while I'm playing Pal World or something like that. Like composer answers music theory questions while trying to catch, you know, pals or something like that. I don't know. I'm still trying to find a way to justify it. It's been a lot of fun though. Yeah. Oh my gosh. If you could see my dog right now. This is so funny. I'm going to show you. See if you could see that. I don't know if it's going to let me show you. Look at her, just spread legs wide open. What is she thinking? River, what in the world? Can't quite see. Let's see if I can bring it back a little bit more. Yeah, oh, now you can see it if I bring it up like this. Just look at that. Oh, sorry, I just had to show you that because sometimes dogs just do the darndest things, man. Yeah, the problem is there's like no music in Pal World. There's only something on like the boss tracks. That's it. Like, I literally play film music from different films while I'm playing because there's just no music in that damn game. I was kind of disappointed. I started playing, trying to find new games just to get into more game scores. And then the game I fall in love with has almost no music. It blows my mind. This track is in good shape. I think we're making good progress on this track. I'm kind of tempted to jump to the next track. I'm going to give a little bit of commentary Or actually, let me check. You know what? We didn't check the orchestral plucks and mallets. We have to fix those. If you're just now joining us, we're doing live mixing for a video game, and it is a cute 3D animated video game. This is what the whole track sounds like. Ah, yes. Majesty, majestic, beautiful. I like it. It sounds pretty good. Let's check. We're checking the orchestral plucks and mallets and such. I love the things that just get buried in a mix that you just don't even notice sometimes. Oh, you could hear it. It's there. All right, that's sounding pretty good so far. I mean, I don't have any like specific qualms. Let's try to make the piano sound freaking gorgeous. Let's go back to the beginning here. Let's just listen through the piano for the whole track. Let's see how I was doing this bad boy. Yeah, that's just the right hand. Make sure I did everything right. Oh, I gotta fix something really quick, because one thing I did for this track is I split the piano left hand and right hand. Just to kind of help. Just to help with the mixing. That way you could hear the low end of the piano on one thing. Be able to balance the low end of the piano as opposed to the high end properly in the mix. And you could just pan it a little bit, and that sounds kind of nice, doesn't it? All right, let's take out the low end here really, really quick, because I actually finished this part this morning. Was it morning? Yeah, or afternoon, somewhere around there. Oh, what is this? Oh, thank you, Tony. Let's put this guy here. We'll take out the left-hand notes. And then this one will take out all the high notes. It's the just to be safe. I should have done this earlier. I'm going to do that later. Fix piano MIDI track. At measure 32, you nincompoop. All right, let's get some dreamy piano action going on here. I like that. I just got a big Abby OS or big Abby reverb send. I'm gonna probably check right here. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna automate the reverb sends here. Let's see. There we go. So during these dreamy parts, you get more reverb. Oh, that would help me listen to it better. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Let's just do that. Also, this reverb is freaking huge. I can't even believe I'm using it, honestly. If it becomes an issue, we'll just take it out. And then right there, we would bring it up. Where did I have it? I had it at 16.8. Get that bad boy to 16. That way we don't just like put so much goo and gunk in the track when we're having 100 freaking instruments going on. Really, really helps. All right, and then when I get over here, just for other songs, I could just bring it back down just to be safe. Misa, chill. My cat's going crazy in the backyard. I mean the background. Hey, stop that. Misa! Misa! I will throw things at you. Soft things, though, because you're cute. I'm going to throw my guitar pick at her. It just made her more curious. All right. Ah, yes. Also, for this Spectra sound thing I got. Where is she? Where is she? I feel like Batman. Where is she? Why didn't it play? Here she is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That has the swimming pool, but no, it's going to get the Abby verb. Isn't that just magical? It adds just that extra element. I'm liking it. Yeah, I don't really have any qualms with the piano. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's check it in a different area just to see if anything jumps out with me frequency range-wise. Sounds pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with that in general, so. Trying to find a resource for reverb really quick. Give me a second here. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Let's see. Excuse me. Jeez. Yep, I mean, the left hand sounds fine. I'm going to take a little bit out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's sounding pretty good to me. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second and check it on the big speakers. It sounded pretty good to me. What do you guys think in the chat? Is this crap? Is it the greatest mix you've ever heard in your life? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. I'm pretty happy with it, though. Let's just do some general tweak balances as a run through starting from right here, but I'm pretty happy. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. We're just going to rebalance everything just to make sure everything's sounding good in the track. If you're just now joining us, we're doing live mixing for a cute 3D animated video game for itch.io Game Jams. It's a fun time. It's a lot of fun. It's great, beautiful, grand words. Right now, we're just trying to make sure everything's balancing well. And low drums. I feel the need to bring up the violins too a little bit more in the mix. Honestly, they're not doing a lot, though. I might honestly, for this section right here, just dub the violins and the violas just to do the same thing, just to kind of help with the balance. Let's see if that even is possible. Okay, that works. Regions, color. Misa! My cat's going crazy. Stop it. Stop it. Right now, you stop it. That'll show her. And I think my dog just farted. What a lovely ambiance for this atmosphere. These guys need to be over. All right, give me 1 second. My cat's still going a little bit crazy. I'm going to let her out because she clearly wants to leave. She's had it with me. There we go. Let's fix the panning a little bit. Let's listen to this really quick. It's my cat's way of telling me she wants to leave, is she just takes the acoustic panel and just starts slamming it against the door. That being said, I'm mixing with headphones. I don't know why I'm shutting doors. That makes no darn sense. And then there's that little line right there I need to fix the balance of. This track sounded pretty good. So I might just throw it up a little bit here. Now I want the flute to be the main thing. All right, let's boost these guys up. There we go. There we go. Yeah, just the flute and the clarinet is nice. Don't want the oboes taken over. See what the clarinet sounds like right there. Oh, I love a good clarinet. Squidward is proud. Squidward! I'm going to back off on the woodwinds right here, or the bassoons specifically. And I'm just going for the gain knob, quick and dirty, because it gets the job done. And then we can bring it back up for this part. There we go. And a little trick we can do, just to kind of help that phrase, because that phrase needs to be just right in the balance. Just to kind of give it, just to back off a little bit. Not a crazy amount, like 5. Literally just that much. Yeah, that'll help like so much. So I really like using track stacks. Just because I'm like, I don't want to draw this 10 times for just a simple concept. Oh, yeah. There we go. Beautiful. I'm liking where this is. All right, so what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to export this track so I can reference this. A very important detail in mixing is being able to reference it in other speakers, because you're going to notice things that you didn't already notice. Or you're going to notice things that you... Wow, I can't talk. The energy drinks have overtaken my brain. You want to reference mix. So you want to see what this mix sounds like on different speakers. That way you get a different perspective. I have the loop very strange. I have it going to from beat 3 of measure 1 all the way to beat 2.5 or 1.5. The 1E and no, the 1E and of measure 41. Look at this. This is so strange. It works really well especially if you hear it a little bit more in context. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it works really well. All right. I think that's it for this track. Are you alive, chat? Would you like to join me on a salsa boss battle adventure to do some mixing? If you were with me a few days ago, that's the track we were composing live for. We're going to make it sound cool. Corey is still awake. Anyone else with us? He's trying to be. All right, we're on the hour 50 mark. I'm going to say, screw it, let's do it. That's kind of a funny phrase. I'm going to make a note for myself. I think I did everything. I didn't do the reverb trick. You know what? Let's dial in a little bit of reverb for these woodwinds and strings, and then we're gonna. But I don't really notice. The strings are so wet already. Yeah, I think it's fine. Might just leave that. Let's see if there's anything else on here. I did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. Did that. Yeah, we're rocking everything on this mix. That's something I have to do, but we're not doing that tonight. All right, we're making excellent progress here. All right, so what we're gonna do is I am going to just run to the restroom really quick. What I'm going to do though is I'm gonna set up a different file for us to do the mix, and I will do a listen through while I'm gone. That'll be a fun time, don't you think? Give me just a moment here to get my bearings on. Let's see. Oops, that's the wrong thing. There we go. That's a little bit nicer. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, let's set up the next file. We'll get this rocking, shall we, chat? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is sounding. Oh, I gotta export it. Duh. Jeez, I'm a goofy guy. Not gonna send this out yet, but want to be able to. Crap. All right. Put this in the reference mix folder. Here we go. Here we go. Go, go. Let's see. Mix. And then rough mixes. All right. We're boing. We're bouncing the track. And we're going to dive back in. Then we're going to do the dance track. That's going to be a real fun time. I'm excited for that one.